Greetings everyone, hey, how you doing? It's Matt Sella, and today we are doing another spoiler review talk for It Chapter 2! Nah, I'm just kidding. We're actually going to be talking about DuckTales, Season 2, Episode 20, The Golden Armory of Cornelius Coot! And I am joined here, sort of, it's actually the ghost from outer space, because unfortunately Marc died somehow, but we're going to resurrect him later. It's Marc, calling from the interdimensional plane. How you doing, Marc?
The interdimensional plane looks a lot like a pioneer settler's historical place. Not a lot of people know that.
Well, I certainly did not know that, but I'm glad you're here to inform us all.
The afterlife is nothing but pioneers and historical inaccuracy.
Well, Marc, I'm happy you're here anyway, because we got a really interesting episode, I gotta say, regarding the latest DuckTales episode. So, before we get into that, make sure to subscribe to this channel, ring that bell to get notified when new videos drop. Like it, hopefully, when you enjoy this review, and I say, let's get started. So, Marc, why don't you give us a quick synopsis or a breakdown of what the plot of this episode is all about?
All right, for episode 20 of season 2, The Golden Armory of Cornelius Coot, Webby leads the kids in a race against the Beagle Boys to find the secret treasure hidden under the prospectory old parts of Duckburg that were founded by Donald's distant relative Cornelius Coot. All the while, Della is having a bit of a hard time with Launchpad and, the fact that he crashes her plane.
Almost constantly.
Always, and yeah. But the Webby's big reason for this is because she is trying to solve something that Della couldn't, and that is the mystery of Cornelius Coot and how he fended off the Beagle Boys in the pioneer times.
Those dang Beagle Boy gang members always causing trouble here in the hood.
Always in the yeah. Is that's what pioneers called their settlements? The hood.
The hood.
The hood.
With that exact pronunciation.
Yeah, it's old trapper slang. But yeah, all the while uncovering the truth behind Cornelius Coot and how he managed to beat the Beagle Boys with his brains, not his brawn. But Matt, your thoughts on The Golden Armory of Cornelius Coot? I got some history for this one, but you go ahead.
I'm really looking forward to hear what you think, but overall, I'm just going to say right now, I think I was fairly entertained by this episode. I don't know if I laughed out loud a lot in some parts. I feel like I did on one. Oh, no, I did. I don't expect you to laugh at this, Marc, but I remember near the beginning where Webby was getting really excited to try to find this treasure to get things started, and the boys are just kind of like hanging out by that statue at the beginning. She grabs a shovel and says, let's look for the entrance. She throws a shovel. Huey and Dewey move out of the way, but Louie gets hit in the stomach and his air just escapes him as he keels over. That got me. I was just the
good old-fashioned violent comedy.
I mean, it's not like cartoony violence or anything like that. It's just like, it felt grounded, and I think that's why I laughed so much. Like, it wasn't sporadic. It wasn't like crazy, like, whoop, boing, or anything like that. It was just like, hit in the stomach, and it's like, I was like, damn. I don't know. But I think that was like the only laugh I got from the episode. But for the rest of it, it was mostly just like an interesting little adventure they were having.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. This isn't exactly it's not a knee-slapping episode. It's not necessarily a very in-depth episode unless you're really excited for some of the stuff from the comics. And you might even know some things about this without having read the comics if you ever went to Mickey's old Toontown Fair in Disney World. So we'll see if got a little history for you, Matt.
Oh, well, lay it on me. What's going on?
Basically, well, for me personally, the mystery of Cornelius Coot was kind of spoiled because I knew of the character Cornelius Coot from the comics. He even has his statue is even briefly, it's similar to the one in this episode at the end with the corn, is seen in the old DuckTales cartoon show. But the same statue actually was in Mickey's Toontown Fair in Disney World. So if you ever went by there, you probably saw it as part of a little bit of weird history. So technically he made it into the parks, but basically Cornelius Coot's thing was corn. So when I saw him with like the pistol and all that stuff, I was just like, oh, this is a different take. But no, it wasn't. It was very much in the spirit of, I think, Cornelius Coot.
Yeah, I really feel like that the whole point of like the Cornelius Coot thing, it's like, it's just a pun on corn. It's like, oh, his name is already the spoiler. So
a little bit, yeah. And for those of you who are confused, Coot would be the maiden name of Donald's grandmother. So it's on the Duck side of the family is how that connection's made, just in case you're a little confused between Coot, Duck, and McDuck at this point.
I think at this point, because I'm like, even Webby Duck, like, isn't her last name Duck as well?
Vanderquack.
Oh, Vanderquack. Okay, wait. Then why in the episode did she call herself Webby Duck?
I don't know.
Because
Did she?
I swear she said Webby Duck.
Huh, maybe she was just really living in Della's shadow there.
Maybe.
But
let me know in the comment section below. Maybe I misheard that, but I swear that's what I heard.
Yeah, I do know just because of how it's kind of gotten complicated with some characters like Daisy. They do say in the Duck universe, Duck is like the Smith of this world.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, really, because the point I was trying to get at is, like, I feel like last names are not super telling of relationships in this world. It's just more like it's like what you said. It's a very common last name, and it's just kind of a title. That's really it.
Yeah, until you get to some really specific characters, you know, a lot of the last names aren't too significant.
Pretty much.
But yeah, overall, a very fun episode, just a simple adventure. I think Della with Launchpad was good, but I've been on the record of not necessarily caring much for this incarnation of Launchpad.
That's fair. I mean, he is played up super dumb.
Yeah.
And I don't know how dumb he was in the original DuckTales and Darkwing Duck.
Well, he wasn't, you know, the smartest person, but it was more of he was a bit of a lovable kind of klutz or aloof. He wasn't using gum to hold his airplane together.
Right.
But I liked it. I do like that Della kind of has to now deal with the fact that there is someone using her plane. And, you know, I think that was interesting.
Yeah. I want to get into some other details about the episode I found interesting. One thing that I'll say, which I'm sure it happened a few times in this series already, but sometimes, like I think even the last episode, it never blended. But I'm kind of happy the side plot B actually tied into the main plot. With that being, the B plot was Launchpad and Della trying to like delegate the responsibilities of manning the plane, but ultimately it led to helping out Huey, Dewey, and Louie and Webby with their little adventure and skirmish with the Beagle Boys.
Right. So this one definitely had much more of a connection between the two than we have seen in the past couple of episodes, yes.
Not saying every A plot and B plot needs to do that, but
it's nice when it happens.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing that I thought was kind of interesting was kind of like giving Webby a little bit more character growth and personality here, where it's like, I found it interesting that she read Della's diary and started to compare herself to Della at Webby's age, not making as much accomplishments compared to Della. She wanted to do something that Della hasn't done before, and I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, she has another role model other than Scrooge and has goals established for herself. It's nice.
It's kind of funny, too. The whole thing with Cornelius's corn patch thing, about the whole army thing. Maybe I was just waking up because it was super early in the morning. I was a little confused on the whole like ghost army aspect when she accidentally lit the trail of flames to make the corn stalk pop. And when Della and Webby, or at least mostly Webby, came to realization, this is how he did his ghost army. And I was like, what? What's this got to do with army? But then when they cut to the part where the Beagle Boys and Webby and Della catch up to them in the tunnels, you hear the popping noise and the rumbling. I was like, oh, okay, I get it now.
See, that actually confused me too, because in this episode, Miss Quackfaster, the secretary, the archive keeper and librarian, was doing the tour. And for a second, I thought they were, it's very clear what they were doing, but for a second, I thought, because she was also doing different roles within the thing, and she was just doing it really fast, and that was the joke. But for a second, I thought there was more than one of her, and they mentioned the whole ghost army thing, I was like, what are you doing, Quackfast? Like, I don't know. I was expecting almost this is going to sound terrible, but what was that movie? The one with the stage magicians, and there's the Tesla coils, and not the illusionist.
Now You See Me?
No, it's the one. It's set in the past, and then the whole thing was the guy wasn't transporting himself from one box to another. He was actually cloning himself and killing the other clone beneath the stage.
What the?
Yeah, it was a very weird movie.
Let us know in the comment section below what Marc's talking about, because I have no idea.
Anyway, I thought there was some doppelganger stuff going on, but it was just popcorn.
Yeah.
Classic con. Oh, I remember. I think it was The Prestige.
The Prestige, yes. I think you're right. I haven't seen it, but I do believe that's the general synopsis.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Michael Caine was in it.
I think you're right.
It's been a while.
Well, let us know in the comment section below about that, because I'm curious.
And if it sounds like it's weird, it's convoluted and whatever, it was a Christopher Nolan movie. So I'm going to put that out there.
But yeah, I also thought it was interesting that we had like, what's his name? Big Time from the Beagle Boys kind of be rejected from Ma Beagle. Finally kind of caught up with it and became friends with the spiders. And technically that didn't really go anywhere.
I was kind of expecting the spiders to play a little more of a role in it, the story.
I did too, but maybe the writers knew, spiders might be a little too scary for the kids.
Oh, I was just going to think maybe they kind of, I don't know. Well, this is like the second time in the past couple episodes we had a insect of some form causing a little trouble. So I don't know.
Although what's funny, and I'm sorry if I'm making these weird loose connections, I just saw It Chapter 2 last night, and seeing the spiders kind of like clinging on to Huey, Dewey, and Louie kind of made me flash back to that movie. So I was like, huh.
You thought things were going to get real dark.
Oh, man. But anyway, overall, I think this was a pretty cute little episode, and I enjoyed it. It's not my favorite, but again, I enjoyed having breakfast, drinking my coffee, and watching this episode. So that's where I stand.
Thinking of evil space clowns while watching your duck cartoon. Well, Matt, we have a bit of a break this weekend before we finish off season 2 with Typhoon, excuse me.
Wow, yeah, we do.
Hopefully that, can give us a clue to how I can get back to our Earth and, not space, an alternate dimension, or, pioneer limbo.
Yeah, because remember, folks, he's communicating through astral plane. He's like Doctor Strange.
Very strange indeed. But Matt, take us home, why don't you? While I, go try some of this buttermilk everyone's talking about.
Well, I want to thank you all for checking out this review. Be sure to give it a like. Let us know in the comment section below. What did you think of this episode? Episode 20, The Golden Armory of Cornelius Coot. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Share your thoughts. Join the conversation. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. Ring that bell to be notified when videos drop. And hey, if you want to support me, consider going to my Patreon at patreon.com/Matt Sella. Donate as low as $1 a month goes towards podcasts like these, my art, my animation, content made just for you. More details and links in the description below.
It's so simple.
That it is, Mark. I just wish getting you back here was simple. But we're still working on that.
I'm still working on pouring this buttermilk.
I wonder what that's like in space. Anywho, this is Matt Sella.
This is Marc.
I want to thank you all for tuning in.